Good evening, Lake Orion. What a beautiful day out. The birds are shining, the sun is rising, and we're between Taorminas. Hello, welcome to Between Taorminas here on ONTV. As we have seen, Sammy and Ian are actually fighting as we speak. So I'm gonna host. Give me that! Give me that! Give me that! Wow, you two are. Wow, we actually had a fight on air.
You okay?
Yeah, whatever. God.
You
All right,
all right?
let's talk about the first subject, ladies and gentlemen.
How tan I look on camera?
Besides that,
Okay.
Tigers. Tigers eliminated the Oakland Athletics.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the Game 2 loss, I still think they're the better team. Ian, do you agree? Ian right now needs help right now. Mentally, he needs help because here's why. Yeah, Justin Verlander did well in that series. He saved the Tigers in that series. But when they went into Boston, they took Game 1. They did what they wanted to do. Very impressive outing from Sanchez. All the Tigers did was they got what they wanted. They took one game. And, of course, they got 3 games at home. Mm-hmm. Ian, what do you think? Why are you silent?
I think Game 2 is one of the worst things I've seen in my life.
Oh, I agree with you. But I did say
Pitiful.
But I did say this would happen.
What?
I did say this for Mr. Ian Weatherspoon. I think the Tigers would win in 5 games. Here's why. Because the Tigers had 3 games at home, and, of course, they're 1-1. All they did was held serve. Think about the NBA Finals. The Pistons-Lakers game 2. When the Lakers beat the Pistons in Los Angeles, it has that same exact feeling.
There was also a Kobe Bryant buzzer beater that sent him to overtime, correct?
So think about it.
In Game 2,
a big poppy
remember that?
grand slam, very similar.
It was similar.
And then you have Jared Sapamakia winning that game. So think about it.
Boston had zero business winning that game.
I agree.
None.
I agree.
And you come home for 3 games up 2-0 on the Red Sox, they're cooked. They're done. We need a new director, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear what Mitch just said?
Yes, I did.
That's disgusting. I'm
Yes.
gonna vomit.
I think you're right on the money that the Boston really they have no business in the series.
They were getting murdered.
Tigers pitching has been excellent until the bullpen, but you do have to admit though the Tigers were tired following Oakland. You look at they have to travel across the country to Boston. They took Game 1-0 at defensive slugfest. The bullpen,
No one did their job. Not a soul in that bullpen did their job last night. And what? What did Leland do? I feel like I'm talking to a mime here. What's going on?
He took Scherzer out of the game.
Scherzer was done. Scherzer said he was
took him
done.
out of the game.
Scherzer said he was done.
Oh, are you sure? Because 108 pitches. We know Justin Verlander can pitch at least 125, 126. I mean, why won't you let Scherzer go out and pitch the 8th inning?
It's been a long year. Most innings he's pitched in his career. They had 6 outs to get with a 4-run lead. You know what I'm saying? You would tend to think you'd be safe. I could have taken the ball. No, I couldn't have. But still.
I would have thought 5-0. But I mean, this thing is Big Papi, Boston, the beards. I mean, just everything about Boston is just like New York. It makes you want to puke.
It makes you want to
just like New York.
Yeah. People say, oh, Boston's better than the Yankees. No. They're both terrible. They're both despicable. They both make me want to vomit. No. Yeah, no. 3 straight ALCSs and you want to fire the man.
Because he was the one, if you look at it here, the Tigers lost the series because Jim Leland decided to pull out Max Scherzer.
The game?
He decided to pull Max Scherzer. Even though, my God, Torrey Hunter, my God. He tried. Torrey Hunter tried to catch a Big Papi. He tried to catch that big poppy grand
If
slam.
the game was in Detroit, that the Tiger fans would definitely help him. Boston, security guard, I don't know why.
But the thing is that, Boston, Torrey Hunter tried all he could to catch that big poppy grand slam. You imagine if he caught that grand slam, what would have happened?
Pandemonium.
Exactly.
In Detroit.
Exactly. And, we wouldn't be talking Boston being tied with Detroit. Boston's lucky to be tied 1-1. Those beard no good redheaded freaks are lucky to be tied with the Tigers. And them going, woo, we're celebrating. Woo, Boston, their fans are just absolutely garbage. They're absolutely terrible.
Garbage. Sick. They're sick. A man cuts his head on the ground and you don't help him up?
Nope.
As a cop? Come on. Boston's finest.
Why don't you just...
Ay.
If you do that... Sorry, Tom Ford, I had to say that.
And if you're in Detroit, you know what I mean? You do the same thing to the Boston people. What? Don't help them up?
Don't help them up?
What?
Don't help
We're
them
better
up.
than that.
We're better...
Hey, that's why Detroit's got an emergency manager.
Easy.
Easy.
Bottom line is this, Sammy. Boston had, Boston does not deserve to be in the series right now. The way they've been playing, they don't deserve to be in the series. The Tigers are clearly the better team, both pitching and hitting. Yeah, Benoit laid an egg against in Game 2.
But all the bullpen pitchers
But you're right.
None of them did their job.
That responsibility got to go to the bullpen.
But here's my point. Do you keep Scherzer in there for the 8th inning? If the man says, I'm tired, I'm done, then no. If he's got more in the tank at 108 pitches, I would definitely consider it. But 6 outs to get with a 4-run lead. Scherzer should have stayed in the game, and you know it. No, I don't know that. You know it. No, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all.
So you don't have a problem with Leland's decision?
The only problem I might have is I think Veras is your 8th inning guy. He pulled Veras out to put Smiley in. I don't have a huge problem with it, but I would have left Veras in probably. That's why you got him. Yeah. Is there an echo? Do I hear an echo? No, I don't know. All right, hey. Any concerns, though, about this bullpen moving forward?
Absolutely.
You still think Tigers in 5?
Yeah.
Even though the bullpen could be shaky?
Yes.
Why?
Because they have an offense. I think the fact of being at Comerica in front of, Boston's got to go there. Yes, Boston has experience. I get that. But the thing is, Tigers won 3 out of 4 at Comerica against Boston. All the Tigers really needed was 1 game in Boston. If they can win all 3 games, that's going to be great for the Tigers going to the World Series. Now, do the Tigers have to win a game in Fenway? It's very possible they have to win another game in Fenway, depending if the Tigers lose one. But I feel very confident that the Tigers are going to at least win 2 out of 3, maybe all 3 games in
All right, prediction time. Where are we at? I don't like how you're picking the Tigers in 5. That makes me uncomfortable.
Why?
Because normally you've been doom and gloom, and they just go to the World Series and keep winning and panic in May.
We know you love. We know deep down that Coco Crisp, I heard, sent you a card that said, I'm sorry, Ian, I failed you.
Yeah, I was on the golf course. Because he's done. He's at home. Greetings from the Bay on the golf course. That's what I got. First tee box. Shut up. What do you think? What do you guys think? When we're here in 1 week, what's the headline going to be? What are we going to be talking about, Tigers?
I think we're going to talk about Tigers going to be 1 game from eliminating the Red Sox. I think Tigers will win, 2 out of 3 and clinch in Fenway. Clinch in 6.
You got all 3 at home.
Mm-hmm.
That's bold. Mm-hmm. All right, real quick before we wrap it up. The Tigers' bats have struggled this playoffs, right?
Yes. Austin Jackson in particular.
But how good did Miguel look last night?
Looked good. He hit one over the Green Monster.
Hit one over the Green Monster, had another shot deep to center field.
Mm-hmm. He's fine.
Are we seeing something here? Is he back? Can we say he's back?
If he keeps swinging his hips to the left side, he's back.
Okay.
But then you got to get Prince Fielder back.
Oh, my God.
You got to get everybody else back. And if you get them all back, they're all clicking. You get them all back, they're clicking.
Prince Fielder in that 9th inning yesterday?
Yep. Bill Buckner.
That Missed a pop fly, foul ball. It was bad. All right. Well, when we come back here on Between Taorminas, we're going to talk about Dragons football.
Back to Between Taorminas, everybody. Gee, I see Ian Weatherspoon needs to see a doctor real bad.
Why?
And of
Why?
course, because of Echo, and also that you need the Tiger theory. But let's go to Lake Orion. You know, it's Clarkson week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's one of the biggest weeks this season. One of the rivalries. Got the Wolves. You also got them in football, and you got them in volleyball. You know, what do you think about the matchup with Clarkson? What I think is very, very simple. I think that in volleyball, you're going to have 5 games. There's no doubt about it. Both teams are that good. Both, you know, they're more than capable of having 5 games that can go either way. I think that Lake Orion's a little bit better this year, but I think that, Clarkson's won the OAA Red for the last 3 years, and, you know, they've been a very consistent program. So I think that, I really think that Clarkston, is kind of the standard bearer of the red right now. In football, you've got 2 very good programs going at each other. Obviously, both teams made the playoffs. Both teams are in the playoffs. You pretty much scratch the records. You take the records out. Both sides look forward to playing the other, week 8. You know, obviously, typically it'd be week 9, but had they not had the crossover, they typically have the, they play each other week 9, but it's week 8. So in this case, I would say both sides. It's a very good rivalry. 2 very good coaching staffs. You know, good group of kids either way. So I mean, either way, you're looking at a very competitive week. This is a tough match for Lake Orion. I'm gonna be honest with you, because Clarkson this year They got a lot of talent. They got Ian Erickson back. They got the emergence of Centris Williams Jr., transfer from Macomb, Dakota. I wonder how. You got DJ Zazula, your quarterback. You got a big line led by Nick Maddock, and then you have his brother Adam Maddock play the line. Coach was a good tight end, and then you got their 2 wide receivers, Kane Wellington and Tim Kaysen. They got 5 Division I recruits going over there. They got They got 5 Division I recruits going over. Going D1. Which is going D1 schools. You got Erickson going to Eastern Michigan. You got Shane Hines the kicker for Clarkson, going to Kent State. Tim Kaysen going to Purdue. You got Nick Maddock going to Western Michigan. And you got David Beadle, the defensive lineman, going to Michigan State. So,
is he an end or a...
He's a defensive lineman.
Okay.
You know, Clarkson's defense this year has been very stellar. They've allowed 16. They've allowed more than 15 points in one of the games, and that was Pontiac. I mean, you got to see what Clarkson has this year. As a lot of people say, this is Clarkson's best chance to get to Ford Field. You know, but it depends on the draw. It depends on the matchup that they get. You know, who knows? If they get the right matchup, they could be in Ford Field. A lot of it too is we talk about, expectations. Lake Orion really, I do agree that this is going to be a very challenging game for Lake Orion. Clarkson's weakness is linebackers. Clarkson really doesn't have they don't have a weakness, because one thing that they have is they
their weakness was typically they weren't going to pass the football, but then Erickson goes down. Their DJ Zazula had to pass the ball more. He became more of a better passer and a better leader. So I think that this is going to be a very challenging. This is going to be a very challenging for the Dragons defense this week.
You got to look at what, on the other hand, when Clarkson lost to Adams week 1, there were calls for Kurt Richardson's job and also to bench DJ Zazula because his dad is a coach.
Yeah, that's true. His dad is coach there.
Also, ever since Zazula has benefited with their line, he's thrown much better, but I'm curious to see how he does under pressure in a game because, I'm not sure if
I'm very curious how the Dragons defense is going to react against this Clarkston offense. I'm very curious how the Dragons defense is going to, are they going to respond to the challenge? Because this is a true challenge as far as but at the same time they can play loose, I think the Dragons are going to play loose. The expectations around Clarkston to, everybody except the community of Lake Orion is expecting Clarkston to absolutely kill Lake Orion, absolutely crush Lake Orion. Everybody except the community of Lake Orion is expecting that. That's something that I truly don't think is going to happen. I think that Lake Orion Lake Orion, the feeling of it is they just got to play loose. And I think that you let things play itself out. I think that Lake Orion's going to give it their best shot, and we're going to see what happens.
I got the crossover scenarios right here. You know what I mean? If you can see here on the board here, you got to look at it here. If Lake Orion wins over Clarkson, they get Southfield. And if Clarkson wins and beats Lake Orion, Stony Creek loses, then the Dragons will play Harrison. And if both Clarkson and Stony Creek wins because of Stony Creek's win over Lake Orion, then the Dragons would play Oak Park.
We're gonna have to see what happens
next week.
Either way, it's gonna be a tough matchup for Lake Orion, for week 9. The good news is it's gonna be at Lake Orion, but either way, those 3 teams, very good teams. But it feels like, for both Lake Orion and for Clarkston, that this is playoff football right now. It starts here because you've got a tough opponent with each other. Then week 9 for both teams, they're gonna play each other tough, and then you're gonna play some tough opponents. Then you've got the playoffs starting there, and who knows? Lake Orion and Clarkson could be split up again. They could be put in the same district or same region.
I think they're going to be in the same region.
It'll be very interesting to see where they put both teams, especially because you got Stony Creek, you got Rochester Adams there, maybe Oxford, you got Romeo, Ike.
Romeo, I think, is eliminated.
Well, we'll see what happens.
As far as this game, predictions.
I think that the emotion for both sides is going to be very intense. But I look at it like this. Lake Orion, even though Clarkston has the expectations, the athletes, the stars, I think Lake Orion has the better team. I think Lake Orion wins 30-27.
I really can't give you a prediction in this game because in the Dragon preview show, I said Clarkson would win it over Lake Orion. But then, of course, I look at the records and I say, you know what? Throw the records aside. This is going to be a very good matchup of 2 very good teams. Lake Orion's going to use the term disrespect. They're going to use that term, But I'm not sure if this team this year is good enough to beat Clarkston. I am not entirely sure on that right now. But if they do beat Clarkston, this is a big, big, big win for this team.
Big step for this program.
Big statement and a big win for this team. It will be the first time that Lake Orion has won in the Clarkson and won since 2007. And that is a long time. They haven't beaten Clarkson since 2010. But if you can start by getting this win at Clarkson, they're going to be just fine.
All right. Fair enough. Okay, when we come back, we're going to talk about the Lions in Cleveland.
Hey, this is Mickey York from Fox Sports Detroit. When I want to get the inside scoop on local sports, I watch Between Taorminas or Fox Sports Detroit.
We own a Habitat home. I love working on my Habitat home.
Soy dueño de una casa de Habitat.
My neighbor is a Habitat homeowner.
Being a Habitat homeowner has changed our lives.
My mortgage payment for Habitat is less than what I paid for rent.
Habitat for Humanity of Oakland County currently has homes available with mortgage payments lower than most rent payments. If you or someone you know needs decent and affordable housing, call 248-338-1843 or visit our website at habitatoakland.org.
Back to Between Taorminas here on ONTV. We got the Lions.
Whoops.
The Lions beat the Browns. Lions
Yes,
beat
they
the
did.
Browns, and you were there.
And can I just say one thing real quick? I don't like the people of Cleveland, Ohio.
Why? I thought your new best friend is this guy, Joseph Fourier. Of course, he's the tight end of the Detroit Lions who had 3 touchdowns.
Yes.
And he did some dance moves that maybe you should get some dancing lessons on.
You thought they were good moves?
But also, Fourier was a great move, to be honest with you.
No. Dance moves. You thought he has good dance moves?
No, he does not have good dance moves.
Oh, so you're saying I should teach him some dance moves?
Yes, I think Fourier was in his size and athleticism, big move to bring him in. I think that.
Why are we just going to him now, though? You know, what about the week against Green Bay? Could he have not been in there a little more? I know he's a big red zone guy, but
he's a modified Jimmy Graham.
He's not there yet. He's strictly red zone right now, but
But he's a
hopefully his role
modified
expands.
Jimmy Graham. I think this was a steal the Lions got in Joseph Fourier because
So far,
so good. You know, Cleveland, I was a little bit surprised, especially the way that they beat Cincinnati a couple weeks ago. That
surprised how bad they suck.
I was surprised how bad that well, because Brian Hoyer's not in there. Brian Hoyer's a better quarterback than Brandon Reason is.
Maybe, but still, Cleveland's not good. They're not a good team. Their defense is all right.
Lions are
ran all
4-2.
over them, though.
The realization of it is Lions are 4-2.
Well, they should be. 5-1 because Arizona.
Yes.
And then if they have
should be.
Calvin Johnson, who knew? They would be undefeated coming in.
Easy.
But I think they definitely should be 5-1 right now.
But they're not.
But they're not. They're 4-2.
All right, moving forward, they got Cincy, who you just mentioned, next week. If Cleveland could beat them, they're at Ford Field. Lions should win, right?
They should.
Move to 5-2.
But you got Andy Dalton to AJ Green.
Okay.
That combination.
Okay, you got Matt Stafford to
Chris
Calvin.
Houston's awful.
Oh my God.
Chris Houston can't cover anybody. You know it.
I don't know it. He's all right. He's not terrible.
Chris Houston can't cover anybody.
He's had some good plays and bad plays.
Oh, he's gotten burned a couple times.
I
could show you I could show you the Matt Ryan play where he
That was last year, man. You're living in the past, man.
Chris Houston is not a good corner.
And
then of course you got everybody's.
Can we get to the call-outs?
You got everybody's favorite guy, Darius Slay, who gets burned by every single time.
All right, he's young. He's got good tools.
He gets
Just
burned.
hold tight, all right? Glover Quinn, Louis D. Helps the defensive backfield, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cincy, you think they win? They should win.
Lions should beat the Who Days.
I got the Who Days over the Lions. Okay, go to call.
Go to call-outs.
All right. I had to bring back an old friend of mine. I had to bring back a great friend of mine. Put my call out on there, please. Greg DeClark, football player. Why? Simple. Look, you want to be between Taorminas. I understand that, but you're working way too hard. I want to be between Taorminas. My goodness, you're reminding me of my good friend, the Easter Bunny. Why?
Is he playing the guitar with a carrot?
Yeah, he is playing the guitar with the carrot. He's like you. He's like you. He's like your third best friend.
Ian, the Easter Bunny.
God.
The Easter Bunny seems to make sense for you, Mr. DeClark. You don't need to be celebrating between Taorminas. You just need to be in line. I know you get excited when you see Sammy and myself. Oh my gosh, you get excited when you see Sammy and myself. Ah! The Easter Bunny certainly will calm you down.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
Well, my call-outs, I got two things.
And you have to say it. You can't write it. We don't get to sit here and watch you draw pictures anymore.
The first thing I'm going to call out is, of course, Piston Hopefuls. Piston Hopefuls, what? Let's look at it here. Do you have any hope this season? Do I have any hope and praise for you this season? Of course not! I mean, look at this! You got a lot of fans here screaming with joy about seeing what? They're garbage! They're not gonna make the playoffs! Chris over here on her set knows it! They won't make the playoffs! Jeez Louise! The Cleveland Cavaliers will make the playoffs better more than the Detroit Pistons! You watch! And then, of course, my last call out is you got two people who at Scripps Middle School who needs help with when it comes to terms of college football. You know, last week Michigan lost to Penn State, 43-40 in 4 overtimes.
Joke.
Now they're out of the top 25. So I'm going to call out is Dan Haas and Adam Weldon.
Oh, boy.
Both those two guys. What? Let's look at it here. There is a remedy to fix your problems. I know it, but you two don't listen. You two guys don't see the light. Do you see the light of being a Spartan fan? You can be a Spartan fan. Look at this. Even I had something for you. That says Dan Haas and Adam Weldon. I have the right cue for you. Be Spartan fans. You look good in Spartan green and white. You mean like even when you get even, you can even look good in green and white, you know? And that, you know, we can bring up the memories of Appalachian State, Toledo.
How about Penn State?
Yeah, even Penn State. And they're on probation. I mean, for crying out loud, heck, even you guys are on probation. Even Michigan's on probation.
They are?
Yeah.
For what?
I can help you guys and cure your needs. Come on to the green side. Be a Spartan fan. Both of you. Make Scripps Middle School a green and white community in support of not only Lake Orion, but also Michigan State football. Yeah! Okay.
This is what happens when you beat Indiana?
Yeah, this is what happens.
This is what happened when we beat Indiana.
When they play their most complete game in a long time.
And they took the spittoon from Indiana. Oh, they kept the spittoon.
They kept the spittoon.
But Paul Bunyan is coming home!
Okay.
Okay. Well, certainly, your friends from Michigan State would be very, very proud.
And, of course, we know that one of these days, Dan Haas and Al Weldon are going to be wearing Spartan gear. They have to. And they have to sing a Spartan fight song. That'd be beautiful.
Can you sing it?
Of course.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, first things first, before we start this week, both the Stars and the Wings are going to lose this week, compliments of the Avs in Denver. Mark my words, gentlemen. Mark my words. There will be avalanches for both the Stars and the Red Wings, and there will be burials. I will be digging the graves for both the Stars and the Wings, and it starts tomorrow with the Stars, and then it ends with the Wings on Thursday.
I'll give you your first loss tomorrow. And then, of course, when November 7th comes around, you're done. You're done.
Who, me?
You're done.
What'd I do?
You're done!
Why?
Because the Red Wings don't stand a chance against the Stars.
Okay.
A new star has risen. That star will die.
A new star has risen.
It will die.
It will live.
And then
Ian
we'll kill
Weatherspoon,
the Wings.
and then Ian Weatherspoon is what we do to him. That's what we do to him.
ONTV needs to really get a bar. So right when I'm done here, just get a drink. Forget this ever happened.
Anyway, next week's 104.
104.
What's 104?
Our 2-year anniversary.
2-year anniversary.
Get out of here. Next week?
2 years.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I know.
You guys want a hug?
No.
We'll see you. We'll see you
We'll
later.
see you in 2. We'll see you.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that about wraps it up. Wave goodbye, everybody.
And go Stars.
Go Abs.
Wave goodbye.